Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel, my QNO fam. If this is your first time in our channel, then please don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell as well so you don't miss any of our videos. Our channel is all about New Zealand, what to do here, the things to see, the places to see, as well as the culture and practices of the people here and what it is like to live here. And in saying that, today's video is all about New Zealand finally reopening its borders to the world after almost 2 years since the COVID-19 outbreak. So if this is something that interests you, or you think that this is something that would be a very good help for you and in your future plans, please don't leave this video. Before we run through the dates of when you can enter New Zealand, on the 28th of February 2020, the first case of the COVID-19 was reported in New Zealand. So on the 28th of February 2020, the first case of the COVID-19 was reported in New Zealand. And on the 19th of March 2020, New Zealand closed its borders. The only people who could enter then are the New Zealand citizens, or if you are a permanent resident visa holder or a resident visa holder. And on the midnight of 24th of March 2020, New Zealand went into level 4 lockdown. Now this is the same night that Lily was born. So during the level 4 lockdown, absolutely everyone is required to just stay at home and keep yourself safe unless you are going to the supermarket, to the pharmacy, or if you are a critical worker, like if you work in the healthcare or in the supermarkets. This also meant that no visitors were allowed in the hospital, and it also meant that you are only allowed to go out of your house if you are going out for a walk. And even that, if you are going out for exercise, it must be within your area or close to your residential area. And on the 29th of March 2020, the first death from the COVID-19 outbreak was reported in New Zealand. After that, the cases has slowed down. Therefore, on the midnight of 27th of April 2020, from level 4 lockdown, we went down to level 3. Now, level 3 meant that we can then go and visit our families, but it must only be our close relatives. Still, you can't go anywhere else other than the supermarket, the pharmacy, and to work. The schools are still shut down, the playgrounds are shut down, and no visitors are allowed up at the hospital. Also, restaurants and fast food chains were shut. Then by the 4th of May 2020, there were no cases reported. Therefore, on the 13th of May, from level 3 lockdown, we went down to level 2. In level 2 lockdown, we could then expand our bubble. So we could then go see friends. The restaurants started opening. Retail shops started opening as well. And also the restriction when going to the supermarkets has eased a little bit as well. Then on the 8th of June 2020, from level 2, we went down to level 1. During the level 1 lockdown, it was like living as per normal. Especially because during the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, mask wasn't really necessarily required, implemented, or imposed here in New Zealand. When we went down to level 1 lockdown, New Zealand actually stayed as COVID-free. We definitely enjoyed the freedom and also being able to see all of our families and friends. And mind you, this was all because the borders were shut. But then 2021 August, the first case of the COVID-19 Delta variant was reported in New Zealand, and on the 17th we went into level 4 lockdown again. Then on December 2021, the government's alert level system, which is that lockdowns from level 1, 2, 3 and 4 ended, and we moved to the COVID-19 protection framework, or the traffic light system. So from the lockdowns level 1, 2, 3 and 4, we went to red light, orange light and green light. Now the aim of this framework, or this response against COVID-19, is to slowly open up New Zealand to the world again, therefore boosting its economy and welcoming tourists and international students back in the country. And in saying that, we are on alert level red, meaning you need to wear a mask everywhere you go, scanning in, still maintaining social distancing, and also the government is working hard in making sure that every single person in New Zealand who is eligible and is able to receive the vaccine is vaccinated. Now to the exciting part. When is New Zealand borders opening? Actually, it has already started. On the 27th of February, all New Zealand citizens, permanent residents and residents coming from Australia are eligible to return to New Zealand without self-isolation, provided that you are fully vaccinated and that you've had a COVID test and it was negative before your departure. Also, all of those who are Australian citizens or permanent residents whose primary residence is actually in New Zealand were able to return to New Zealand from the 27th of February. And if you are a partner or a dependent child of a New Zealand citizen or a resident, you are actually able to come back to New Zealand from the 27th of February. Then just a few days ago, from the 4th of March, all Kiwis and permanent residents and residents all over the world were actually able to return to New Zealand. Again, if you are fully vaccinated, you don't have to self-isolate or go into a managed isolation. Then the third step of New Zealand's border reopening commences on the 12th of April. On this day, everyone who has a temporary work visa or a student visa are then welcome to come into New Zealand, again provided that you are fully vaccinated and that you've had a negative pre-departure COVID-19 test. However, more details about your eligibility to travel from the 12th of April if you have the temporary work visa and a student visa, and also how to apply for one, is still to be announced. Then from July 2022, all Australian citizens or permanent resident visa holders or resident visa holders and other foreign nationals, as long as you are traveling or departing from Australia, are welcome to enter New Zealand. Also, visitors from visa waiver countries will be able to enter New Zealand by July 2022. I will be adding the list of New Zealand waiver countries at the end of my video, so please do watch this video until the end. Lastly, the fifth and final step of New Zealand's border reopening starts from October 2022. This means that New Zealand will then be open for all other New Zealand visa holders, and also the application for all New Zealand visas will be reopening around this time as well. And finally, if you are an accredited employer work visa holder or a temporary work visa holder, you are entitled and is able to enter New Zealand from July 2022.